Okay, hello, welcome to the part of the video where I'm just getting everything organised. Hello. Okay, if there's anyone in chat, feel free to send a little hello message. See if that is working for us. Let's have a look, it should come up on my monitor. Okay, oh yeah, should do. Let's see, yes, that's come up, fantastic. Okay. Right, we'll make a start then. Hi, I'm Chris, and this is my game Realm of the Empress. It's a single-player fantasy adventure board game where you explore a large open area, in this case Port Ovis, and you'll be doing a bunch of quests, learning skills and upgrading them, and buying weapons and armour and upgrading those as well. Generally just going on a big adventure. There's also a main narrative that takes place that sort of threads through the game. It takes place in your dreams, so it's not always there, but hopefully it's enough to keep people interested and keep playing more. So it's not just an open-ended sandbox of a game. So I'll just do a quick recap of what we've done before and then we'll move on. So at the beginning of the game you choose a species to play as. There are positives and negatives for each one, so you can read through them, and it's in the first video. I've chosen the Fallen Fae here. They don't have a lot of health and they can't hold a greatsword, but they do have a good combat bonus and a skill bonus. Each species has a combat bonus and a skill bonus. This one starts off with sneaking, and we did a bit of a preview of that in the last video, and we also, for our combat bonus, get an initiative. We get to change one of our attacks into an initiative attack, which is good because an initiative is a special kind of attack that can only be countered by another initiative, and it can also give you an extra attack before combat starts, so it's super useful. We've taken on a few quests. We are at the inn at the moment. It's just very small here at the moment. I'll just show you what the card looks like. These are what the map cards look like. So if you imagine a world map kind of like normal, that's been cut up into mini map cards, and then you piece it together as you explore. That's kind of what I'm doing here. In the top left corner you've got the number of the card. This one's 107, and then you've got the cards in the corresponding areas for north, east, south and west, in case you want to move that way. So that's where we're at the moment. We keep track of how many steps we take with this D12 12-sided die, and then I've got a time tracker here that keeps track of the half hours. So the way it works is every 12 steps you take is 1 half an hour, and we keep track of that. There's a morality system which I showed off a bit in the last video, and then there are skills and armor you can level up as well. So what I've done is, I'll tell you what actually, so what we're doing, we're earning some gold, and we use actual coins and a coin purse to earn gold in the game. You get gold from pretty much any quest you do, as well as from selling items. So that all goes in there. It's very tactile, I quite like that. It's a bit better than just having chits for it. But I realised that it'd be good to track that somehow instead of counting out every one. So I've converted one of our enemy trackers here on the right hand side. Hopefully you can see that. I put some yellow pins in it. This is now our gold tracker. You can only have 100 gold as a maximum at the moment in the game, and this is just a way of keeping track of our gold so we don't have to keep counting the coins out all the time. In terms of tracking things, we also track our quests with this lovely quest tracker. So you can track 10 quests at once, and any quest can be, and a quest can be any length basically. We've got L1 here, which is just one card, and we've got K and R, which have over 15 cards each, so they're significantly longer. And then we also have a play mat, again handmade, lovely handmade play mat here. We've got equipment at the top. We've got a satchel at the moment. You start the game with a satchel. It gives you 35 slots to hold items in. Items are made up of these little chits, half-inch chits, but they can be different shape as well. So you can play a bit of sort of a Tetris game with making sure everything fits inside the space. We've got a space for quest items and a dream deck as well. We haven't had any dreams yet. We have unlocked the inn. We've done a quest for Merwin, who's the innkeep, and she's given us a week at the inn. Normally you have to pay at the beginning of the week, but this time we're just paying at the end. So she gives us a week in advance, and we can only use this inventory when we're on that map card, but it's quite useful when we start doing some mining or logging, which we should be doing today. There's a skiff storage, there's a bit of a weather system with it being okay or raining, and then in the bottom right we've got Merwin's map. This was a quest item that we got, and it's the only map of the game, and so I put a little special spot for it on our play mat so we can refer back to it. Yeah, well, that's it really. So we've got an unarmed combat deck as well. You don't start the game with any weapons or armor, and I had some feedback from some people saying it'd be good to have some kind of way of attacking or fending for yourself if you come across any creatures, you know, in the wild. So I created an unarmed weapon deck. And yeah, so what we're going to do is we're going to be on our way. We're going to move from the inn. We've been told from a lady called Ina at the inn that if we go to the wood shop by the Westwood, we might be able to get some quests, and there's also a smithy around there. If I show you on the map, maybe you can't see, it's in the far west corner of the map. There's a wood shop and a smithy. The key thing to remember with this game is that you can go off the beaten path, you can get lost, but if you find a path, all paths will eventually lead to a building, and then in buildings there's always going to be a character to interact with, so you can't, I don't think, get too lost in the game. So I think that's it. So what we're going to do is we're going to head over to the wood shop and see if you can find it to begin with. We're going to follow a path along from the inn and see what they've got for us. We're going to earn a bit of money. Maybe we're going to get some armor. I'm thinking about getting some leather armor for this playthrough. The previous time I've done it, I did it with plate armor, and so I want to try it with a different type of armor this time. So we've got 30 gold, and I think we need a bit more. We also want to probably buy a pickaxe or an axe at some point too. So what we're going to do is move along. So we're going to take, we want card 108. So the map cards are all here in this deck, and they're divided into groups of 50. So it's quite straightforward to find the card you need. So we want 108, and there it is. I'll put that back. So 108. So when it comes to tracking your steps, you can do a card and then move the dice. So we've done 4 steps now. Or what I normally do is I'll do a bunch of cards, and then when I need to change the deck, I will move the dice and add it all up afterwards. So it's a bit of a speedier process. Okay, so let's keep going. We want to go south, so we want card 133 next. So pop that back. Oh no, it's in the same one. Okay, 133. So we're going south. We're just following the path. I'm being sensible here. Like I said, the game is an open world. The only things that are barriers in the game are these big bushes, and you can't swim and you can't climb up and down cliff faces. So we're going down there. We want 132. We're going to keep going along. 131. Okay, there's a building here. We could check out what's in that building, and that's kind of up to you if you get distracted along the way or not. We're going to try to keep focused, so we're going to keep going along. What I am going to do is move this across a bit, just so we've got a bit more space, because I can't quite remember exactly how far along we're going to go. So we want 130 next. Let's put those down. 130, 129. Okay, and we come to a crossroads. I'm going to check my map, and it looks like we can go down to the smithy or along to the wood shop. I'm going to keep going along to the wood shop, but I think we have to go north then. So we want 112. So that should still be here as well. So we take 112. and then 113. So let's just put those back. I'll show you this card. So on the last stream we did we moved along here, and so this white dot here, this is a node for foraging, which we did last stream. So this has been used, so what we're going to do is put a chit on that to show that it's already been used. So let's just put that there. We'll move myself 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 steps in total, and then I've got these chits that will just show that we've used this node, just so we remember. Let's put that on that map. So we want to go north, so we want 68, so that's going to be a different card pile. Put these ones back and take another one. So it doesn't take too long to find the cards you need. It is a casual game, it is a slower paced game, so that's sort of whether or not you enjoy that kind of thing. It's sort of like a Sunday rainy day type of game. Spend a couple of hours and just go on a bit of an adventure, or just do some fishing or some mining or something like that. You know, it's very quick to set up and very quick to pack away. So what do we need? We need 67. So we're going up there, we're going along here. Okay, I'm just trying to follow the path. We're going to go up to 54. 54? Yeah. Okay, that's a crossroads. We're going to come back down. So let's see, we've got 12, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so that's 3. That means we've done another half hour on our tracker, so I'll just move that pin across. Still got lots of time. So one thing I said in the other stream is that I wanted there to be a day and a night system, but I didn't want people to be worrying about any deadlines. So there's a lot of time and nothing is restricted by the time. It's just there as a way of showing that time is passing, really. And this game is quite suited to journaling if anyone's interested in that kind of thing, because you keep track of the days, you keep track of the people you talk to and the quests you go on. It can make for quite an interesting journal, I think. And there's a big change in progression from the beginning to the end as well. There's quite a big difference in the power that you get. So we want 66, we're still on the way to the wood shop. Okay, 65, I'm just checking the map. I think we're going the right direction. Okay, we're just following this path down. So that's 4, 5. And then we'll go along again to 64. So this is something that I'll note later on. So on this map card, we've got an edge of a wood, a forest. If you were going to go into the forest, you would use this. Time is doubled in the forest, so you would start doubling your time as soon as you go into the woods. But because we're not, we're going sort of just down the south of them, so we don't need to worry about that. We'll get to that a little bit more when we go into the woods later on. Okay, we're going to go south, so we want 117. Is that in this one? No, that's in the other one. $117. Okay, and then 118. And then I think it's south from there, 123. 122. Aha, there we go. So hopefully you're seeing sort of how the exploration works here. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 steps there. So I like the idea that not only do you not know what's in front of you or around you to begin with, you also don't know how far to go in each direction, and that's something I really enjoy. And it's something that perhaps later on in the game, maybe you have a whole map that you can, after you've explored it, you know where everything is, you can just get that out to move to places a lot quicker. But I think in the beginning, I think this sort of unveiling of everything as you go is really important, and I think it has a real sense of not knowing what's around the next corner that I really like. So we've done 10 steps. We have gotten to a map card with a building on it. So every time you want to see who's in a building, you go to the buildings deck. So we will do that in a moment. So this is map card 122 in the top left corner. and we've got 2 buildings here, so I think there'll be 2 building cards in the deck. So here's the building deck, just has the numbers on the back, so we'll find 122. I think there'll be 2 cards for this. Let's check. 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay, so we flip these over and we'll see where we are. I'll just show them for you. So here we go. We've got the wood workshop and the wood shop. So we've got a workshop and the actual wood shop here. So we've got Rodrin in the workshop. The letters in the building are for if you want to steal items. They stand for drawers, tables, boxes, cabinets, that kind of thing. Each object has the different items within that you can steal from if you want to. We're not going to do that right now. Then we've got Gwyneth in the wood shop. Okay, so what we're going to do is we'll pick up those 2 character cards. So let's put those down there. So we're looking for Rodrin and Gwyneth. So here's the character deck, and what we do is we're just looking in the top for those names. Gwyneth, Rodrin. So we're going through this. There's Rodrin. 1, where's Gwyneth? And there's Gwyneth. Okay, 2. So I'll just show you that as well, and we'll see what we've got. So every character is part of a quest, but they don't all start quests. You have to start a quest from number 1. You can't start in the middle, which kind of makes sense, hopefully. So Rodrin, he's got quests F1, F2, G2, G3, J2, Q6, Y1. So he's got quite a few. They all have an intimidation level. You can intimidate people once you've learnt that skill, but you lose morality when you do it. They all have a sneak level. He's got 4, so you can roll against his sneak level and you can steal gold from him. He's got 34, she's got 39, she's got sneak 5. She's got quests W1, W2, Q13, Q14. And then the coloured in sort of train track on the right hand side of each card is part of the persuasion mechanic. You can persuade people to give you cheaper items by matching up those black squares. So they've got shops on the back. Not every character is a shop, but the ones with those persuasion boxes do. So Rodrin has kindling for sale, an axe and an oak shield. He also makes oak planks for 4 oak logs and 10 gold. And Gwyneth, she sells short bows, a yew short bow for 75 gold and a walnut one for 100 gold. So that's really expensive. So let's have a think here. Let's go with Gwyneth to begin with. She's got quest W1 and W2, so I think that's not going to be a super long quest. So I'll just quickly show you. This is the quest. So the deck, it's lots and lots of cards, and they're all in alphabetical order, quest A, B, C to Z, and then they're all numbered 1 to however many cards they need to be. So we want W, so that's going to be right at the back. WX, so let's have a look, see, B, W. So we've got 1, 2. So that's very simple, very small quest. Let's see what that is. Alright, I'll just put these back so I don't drop them. Okay, so we start with W1. We'll read this. So Gwyneth, well met, traveller. How may I help you? A fire, is it? Certainly. In fact, I could use some charcoal. You see, I like to go out sketching, but it's a filthy business making the charcoal. Here, take some kindling and my flintstone. Make a small fire at a safe distance from here and let it burn the wood. I'll give you payment, of course. Okay, so then in brackets underneath it tells us what to do. Take 3 kindling chits and quest item W1. And then at the bottom it says move at least 1 map card away take one random card from the Made Fires deck and return once you have some charcoal. Okay, so here's our quest. So we take 3 kindling chits. So let's try to find kindling. Here we go. That was nice and easy. So the chit system I've got isn't perfect at the moment. It's just in these little bags, but it will do for now. If anyone has any ideas about the best way of storing small chits, I would like to hear that. We'll put it in the comments. That'd be really helpful. So we've got 3 kindling chits. Let's have a look. So we've got 3 kindling chits there. So it says take 3 kindling chits and quest item W1. So quest item. So again, we've got another deck of quest item cards, all numbered and lettered, and we're looking for W1. UV W. Wait. Is that out of order? Do I not have it? Quest item W1. Oh no. Do we not have it? Let's have a look here. They should all be here. Maybe this is something that I'm missing by the looks of things. Fantastic. I think that W1 is going to be the flintstone, isn't it? Why don't I have that? I wonder. I'm going to have a quick look. There should be a flintstone. I guess we never did the flintstone. Fantastic. Right, that's something for the notes. So it is a flintstone. So let's imagine we have the flintstone and we've got our kindling. What we're going to do is move 1 map card away and take 1 random card from the Made Fires deck, and then return once you have some charcoal. Okay, so let's put these aside a little bit. What we're going to do is go to the east one. So that makes us 11 steps. So we're 1 map card away, and we get the Found Fires deck. So there are 2 types of fires. There are found fires and made fires. Oh, the made fires, I mean. Yeah. So obviously we want the made fire. We don't want the found fire. We are making it ourselves. So, and return once you have some charcoal. So with the kindling and the flintstone that we would normally have, I do have it somewhere. It's obviously just not in there at the moment, which is really unhelpful. So we use 1 kindling for 1 fire, and then we just take 1 card, 2 cards in fact, out of the Made Fire deck, and hopefully we get some charcoal. Did she say how much charcoal she wants? Once you have some charcoal, so I think we just need any charcoal. We've got nothing and we got charcoal, so we did quite well there. I'll just show you what that looks like. So the nothing card isn't particularly exciting, obviously it just says nothing on it, but then we've got the charcoal on the other card. Charcoal's worth 1 gold, so it's not worth loads, so we don't really need to keep that. So we've got some charcoal and it says return once you have some charcoal. So that used 1 kindling. We've got 2 kindling left, so let's put the charcoal back. Okay, so the 2 kindling we've got left I'm just going to put into our satchel. I don't know if she asked for that back or not. That might be useful if you want to make some more fires. Okay, so then we take W2. Let's see what Gwyneth has to say. Ah, perfect, thank you. A marvel, isn't it? Paper and charcoal, both from trees. Looks like I'll be back sketching again. I'll take my flintstone back, but you can get one from Galid and Owen down at the smithy. Come back if you ever have more charcoal. I'm always happy to get more. So then you would lose quest item W1, which I'm not sure where it is at the moment, and 1 charcoal. So that we would have got a chip for the charcoal, but it's such a short quest, I haven't bothered with that. And we get a reward of 1 kindling and 10 gold. So we've already got 2 kindlings that we didn't use, and we get 1 kindling back, so that means we've got 3 kindlings, and I'm just putting those into our satchel. And we're done with quest W, so I'm putting that back in the quest at the bottom of the quest deck. Okay, and we got 10 gold from that, so fantastic. We're now up to 40 gold. Right, let's count out 10. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Fantastic. Our coin purse is getting nice and heavy. And I'm going to just change our counter from 30 to 40 so I remember as well. I think it's quite useful having that. Okay, so that's her quest done. She is part of quest Q, but she doesn't start it, so we can't do anything with her. Rodrin, however, has quest F1 and F2, and then G1 and G3, and Y1. So let's see what he's got for us. Let's do just F to begin with. Let's find the F cards. F is just 2 cards as well, so let's see what he has to say. Hopefully that focuses. A helping hand. A carpenter is always in need of timber, stranger. Would you be interested in that? Head over to the westwood behind here and chop me 5 logs. I'll lend you that old axe over there if you need one. Are you armed? There are wild animals in the woods. You'll need a weapon in case you run into a boar or worse. If you don't have one, I've got this old sword. Should do the job. You see a bear though, you make a run for it. Take quest item F1 and the bronze short sword starter deck. Okay, this is a bit more interesting. So what I'm going to do first is put this in our quest tracker, because this might take a bit of time. So I'm going to take the lid off this one, and I'm going to put the whole of quest F into that area. So what does it say? Take quest item F1 and the bronze short sword starter deck. Right, let's do the quest item. Hopefully this one is actually here. F1, right. Ah, there's F1. Fantastic, at least that one's there. Not sure what happened to the other one. So, quest item F1. Let's have a look at what that is. Okay, so it's Rodrin's old axe. So the interesting thing about this one is it breaks after 8 uses. So we have 8 boxes on the bottom we can mark with a pencil, or you can just make a note of it in a journal or something like that. The idea here is that you're not getting a free axe, you're just getting something to use for a little bit, and then you can maybe buy one later on. So we're going to keep a hold of that. That is a quest item, so I'm putting that in our quest items on our playmat, which is filling up quite nicely now. And we've got the kindling here, and we've got a couple of apples. The apples will give us 2 health each. So what I'm going to do is eat those, because our health is actually only at 2 at the moment. The reason for that is because last stream we got into a fight with a bee swarm because we went foraging, and it didn't go super well for us. We managed to stay alive, but only just because we had those apples. So we're at 4 health, which is 1 below our max. So basically if we get into any trouble with any animals, we're going to make a run for it, because we don't have hardly any health at all. So, what does he say? A bronze short sword starter deck. Okay. So, now I get to explain how the weapons work. Right, we'll just get them. Bronze short sword. So, bronze short sword, and you can get an iron short sword as well. The bronze one is the weaker one. So, there has a deck of cards. It's a deck building system for combat, for weapons in combat I should say. They will say weapon on the back, and then you will have something that looks like this. on the other side. So we've got the action and how much damage it does. So on the very top it says B short sword, which is short for bronze short sword. And then we've got starter. So this is the starter deck. All weapons have to start with a starter deck of 12 cards. And then you buy the individual cards to make your deck stronger. With a short sword, you can combine 2 attacks together for 1 turn per round. So combat is done in rounds, and that's depending on which creature or animal you're fighting. But there are always 3 turns to a round, and then at the end of the round you shuffle all your cards back again. You cannot combine initiatives, it says. So that's just 1 attack. So what we're going to do is get all of the cards that have starter written in the corner. That should be 12 cards. So 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, so we've got other cards here. The starting deck isn't the best deck in the world, but it's, like it said, like the name says, it should be good enough to get you started. So let's have a look at what we've got in the starter deck. We've got a swing that hits for 3 damage. We've got another swing for 3 and a miss. Okay, so all starter decks start with 4 misses, and the more you build up your deck, I think the max is 24, the less chance you have of getting a miss. So you get 4 misses, and then we've got a stab for 2, another stab, another stab, another miss, another miss, and then we've got a parry, which is a really useful attack to have. It's kind of an attack and a block, so you block for 2 and do 2 attack together, and those can be combined as well. And I think that's it. So we've got stab, swing, parry, and then the misses. So what we do is we give that a shuffle, and we'll be using that if we come across any animals. So we cannot use our unarmed combat anymore, so we'll put that away. Now we've got a weapon, which is a short sword. What we can do is try to find our short sword as a chit, and we can have that in our equipment. So I'll just find it. There we go. Put these back. So the short sword is a different shape as well. Let's see if I can get this out and show you. So bronze short sword. So here's our playmat. Here's our bronze short sword. It is long and thin, and it goes into our equipment slot there. So now we have a satchel and a bronze short sword equipped. Okay, and we've got the weapon deck ready to go just in case we get into any trouble. We're not going to do any stealing, so we don't really need the building cards out anymore, so I'll pop those back. We could take G1. Should we have a look at G1 before we go off into the woods? Let's have a look at G1. Let's find that. Okay, G. Okay, we've got 3 cards for G. Let's have a read of that. Okay, so there's this old house up on the ridge beyond the farm. Burnt down years ago, but I wonder if there's anything salvageable. Head up there, would you? See what you can find. Take G2 when at map card 44. Okay, so there's a burnt up house he wants us to investigate. Let's keep a hold of that quest. Again, we'll pop it in our quest tracker. Take the lid off this extra space, and we'll put all the quest G in there. So we've now got 5 quests all going on at the same time. We can refer back to them nice and easily because they're just all here in a row. And we'll just read it again. Right, so Rodrin wants us to get some wood. How much wood? He wants 5 logs. Oh, he's got Y1 and there aren't any other Ys. Maybe let's have a look at Y1 as well whilst we're here. Let's try to find where that is. X, Y. There we go. Okay, let's have a look at quest Y. What does that say? Aha! You're ready to build a project of special significance, this, and I'd be proud to help you too. Not much excitement for me these days. He shuffles through some papers under his desk, then shows you some drawings. My wife drew these. She's a fantastic artist. Here's what you'll need. Take player house card 1 and return here once you have the required materials. Once you have built card 1, change map card 44 to map card 44A. Return here for further expansions. So there's a player house here, and you need to have the materials in order to make it. So let's just have a look at that real quick. Player house card 1, here it is. So player house card 1 looks a bit like this. So it allows you to sleep a maximum of 3 hours, and the requirements to build are 1 bear hide, 50 rock and 100 gold. Let's have a quick look at it. So that's what it looks like. It's just the bare bones. We've got a kind of bear hide rug, a little window and a door, and some walls. And the idea is you expand it and improve it as you go. So we can't build that yet. I mean, we need a bear hide. We don't even have any health to be fighting bears. We've only just got a sword, so we probably won't bother tracking that one, but that's something you could keep track of in a journal, so you know to come back to it later. Okay, so we've got G and F from Rodwin. Right, we've got his old axe. It lasts for 8 uses, and then what he wants are 5 logs. He doesn't specify which type of log, but that's okay. So into the woods behind the house, I think is what it says. There are wild animals in the woods. Yeah, up behind the house. Yeah. So here we are. We're going to go back again to him. That was 12 steps. And then we're going to try to go into the woods. I guess it's kind of up north a little bit. Make a little bit of space for that. So we don't have much health. We've only got 4 health. But we do have a weapon just in case. But we're probably going to flee if we need to. Hopefully we can just flee that and see how that goes. So we want to go north, so we want card 119. 51. Oh, we didn't put these ones back. Hopefully they will just go there, I think. Yeah, perfect. Okay, so 119. We're going to go into the woods, and I'll explain that, how that happens and how that works. 119 and 62. Ah, okay. So we need a different deck. 62, the one we were on before. Okay. So we're now going one more step, so that brings us back round to 1 again. And that's another half hour used. So we'll just track that. So far we've been walking for 1, 2, 3 hours over the 3 streams. So again, I'll just show you what the map card looks like. Let me just get 62. I'll show you how this works. So here are the 2 map cards together. Let's just do the first one. So you can see the boundary of the wood, sort of the tree line. We're going to walk through that, and time takes twice as long in the woods. So for every step you just do 2 instead of 1, quite straightforward. And then above it we've got, let's just put that next to it actually, you might need to see it a bit clearer. There we go. So there's a dotted pattern that goes over everything that's within the woods. So as soon as you're in that, you also are moving twice as slowly, or half the speed is what you'd normally say. So there's a node on this that's the shape of an axe, so that means we can use the logging node. That is a logging node. So what we'll do is, that goes go there, that goes there. We'll go move into that, so that is, instead of it being 2, it's now 3 steps into that. So when you move into the woods and out of the woods, and every step you take when you're in the woods. You have to roll a 8-sided die to see what happens, because you can encounter animals, and I will just double check in the rules, but I'm pretty sure 1 to 6, 1 to 4 is nothing. A 5 and 6 you encounter a rabbit, which means you take 1 random card from the rabbit's deck. A 7 is you encounter 1 boar, and 8 is you encounter 1 bear. I mean, we really don't want 7 and 8s, basically, is what that means. I'm going to leave that out there so we remember where everything is and what we do. So we've moved into the woods, so that is a roll of the die. Let's hope we don't get a 7 or 8. It is a 3. I don't think you can see that. You're going to have to just take my word for it. It's a 3. It's nothing. That's fine. We don't get rabbit. You do get raw meat from a rabbit, which you can cook. There's a cooking skill you can learn, and you can cook things to varying degrees of success, really, and the more successful it is, the more health you get when you eat it. So anyway, we got nothing, but that's fine, and we're on a node, so that means we can use that. So when we do logging, what we do is, let me just read this, we take 1 random card from the logging deck per node. So that means because our axe has got 8 uses, we can use 8 nodes. So we take the logging deck here, hopefully you can read that, it says level 1 underneath it, and so we take the whole deck until we get up to level 2. There's level 2, and then 3, 4, 5 have different logs, so we don't take those. So let's put those back. So we're going to shuffle the logging deck a few times, and we're going to see what log we get. This is less involved as a skill. I don't think it's really classified as a skill, actually. We'll do some mining later on, and that has more of an involved sort of mini game that you can do, so we'll look at that too. So logging, we can pick it from the top, or we can pick any one. It's up to you. Let's take top one. Okay, we get a yew log, which isn't the best log. You can get a walnut and an oak, and the yew is the cheapest one, so it's not worth loads of money, but that's okay. It's worth 1 gold, and there's the picture of it. So once we get it, we can put that back into the deck and then shuffle the deck again, and then we're going to get the chits for each one. But I think so we get the chit for a yew log. So let me have a look. So I think it's in here. We've got walnut and we've got yew. Yeah, here we go. So these are going to go into our satchel. I'll take them all out because we might get it. Well, hopefully we'll get a few more. So we've got 1 yew log. Okay, that's going to go into our satchel. We've got 3 kindling up there. I'm going to put the yew log separately over there. Okay, and that's 1 node used, which means because we have used that, we will put on one of the used nodes icons, so we remember. Put that there so we remember that as well. Okay, so then we're going to move. We're going to go east because that looks like it's still inside the woods. So we want card 63. It is, and we've got a node, so we're going to pop that in. Then we move, so 2 steps instead of 1, so 4, 5, and then because we moved, we're going to roll the 8-sided die to see what encounter, if any, we have. It's a 4. 4 is also nothing. That's kind of fine, really. And then we're going to shuffle the logging deck because we're going to do a bit of logging and see what we get. A walnut log, that's a bit better. I'll show you that one. It's a bit different to the yew log. So this is worth 2 gold. So how many? He wanted 5, didn't he? So we probably might as well use up the whole axe to get all 8 if we can. So there's a walnut log. We'll put that back into the deck and give it a little shuffle, and we'll take a walnut log from our chits and put that in our satchel. fantastic. And then we will put a used node icon on it. So I think we can go north, maybe we'll still be in the woods, or maybe even west. Let's go north. We want 58. Okay, 58. 58 is still in the woods, but there is no node there. 6, 7. We're now on 7 steps. That's a bit annoying. Let's go to 59. Where? Oh no, can't get that. We've got to do check for encounter. Roll the d8. We get a 6. We get a rabbit. We encounter a rabbit. Let's have a look. So with a rabbit, these are the rabbit cards. I'll show you what it looks like. Nice little picture, I think, of a rabbit. So if you get a rabbit, you take 1 card from 5 at random, and you either get some meat, you either caught a rabbit and got the meat from it, or it escapes. So let's see what we get. Capture, we get a raw meat. Fantastic. Maybe when we learn to cook, we can cook that up, or we can sell it for 1 gold. So here's what it looks like. We've got a little picture of the rabbit being caught on a trap. It says capture, receive 1 raw meat. So we're going to grab 1 raw meat, and we're going to put that back into the rabbit's deck. Shuffle that up again. Put that, well, I might need that out still. We're going to get a raw meat, so let's have a look in our food. We will have to find the raw meat stuff. Let's go bread, burnt meat, rolls, mushroom pies. There's a lot of different types of meat you can get. Charred, good, fine. Okay, here we are. Right, we've got the raw meat here. We'll just put all the other ones back. Like I said, it's not the best system in the world. We'll have to do for now. So, raw meat, we take 1 of those. These cannot be stored in your inn though, because it's sort of raw meat. You can go off. People don't want that being stored in the inn, so you can keep it in your satchel though for now. So we'll pop that in our satchel. Put that down there. So we've got 3 kindling, we've got a yew logs, we've got a walnut log, and we've got some raw meat. So it doesn't have a node though, so we have to move again. So we're going to go west 59. 59, it does have a node, so that's good. We'll continue west as well. So we're going to move and then roll. So 7, 8, 9. Going to roll. Don't want a 7 or 8. It's a 4, that's fine. Okay, and then we're going to pick a random card. And we get a walnut log, fantastic. So we can take another chit for that. We'll put the walnut log back in here and give it another shuffle. So we take the walnut log. So we've got 3 logs so far. We will take a used icon on that. And we're going to go west again. So card 60. Does not have a node, that's okay. So we move 10, 11. We roll for an encounter. 2. That's okay. Nothing happens. We go south, 61. Okay, and we've got a node there. I'll just show you this card. I've shown it before, but I'll show it on different streams. what we've got here, other than the node and that we're in the woods, is the west side has an X, which means we're at the edge of the map here. We can't go any further west. There's an X there. Just thought I'd show that in a close-up. So this is probably the last node we've got in the woods. We'll come out of the woods, and I guess we'll have a look at the map. There's some more woods south of here, so we can go south and hopefully find some more woods there. So let's go down. So that's 12 and then back to 1 again. So we have done another half hour on our tracker. Here we go. We roll for an encounter. 4. Okay, that's nothing again. That's alright. We're going to do our logging. And we get another walnut log. That's okay, and we shuffle that back in again. So we'll take a walnut log. Here's a walnut log. So we've got 3 walnuts and 1 U. So that's 4 out of 5. We'll put a used node icon on that. Okay, we're going to go south and come out and hopefully go south again. We're still in the camera frame, I think, for that. So let's see, we need 120. Ooh, so that's going to be a different set of. Let's move that out of the way a little bit. It's going to be a different set of cards. So 120. Okay, so we're moving out of the woods, so you still have to roll even for moving in and moving out of the woods, and it still takes 2 steps instead of 1. So 1, 2, 3. Where's the 3 when you need it? There it is. And we still roll for the encounter. We've done well. We didn't. Well, let's not jinx it. 4. Yes, we didn't get any encounters of boars or bears. I think with 4 health we could even be one-shotted and killed with any of that. And we don't have any apples to save us this time. So that's okay. We've done 4. We've come out of the woods, so we're back to not needing to roll the dice. And also not needing to fight anything. That's good. Right, let's go through here. Well, I guess we go straight down. 121. Okay, oh, that is going through the woods again, so we would have to roll. Let's just go around. I'm a bit nervous. I don't want to get into a fight. So we go 3, 4, 5. 5. Okay, so we've got 4. We need 1 more. Where should we go? Do we go? Let's go to 1, 2, 1 and then go south maybe. Although we've seen, yeah, let's put 1, 2, 1 there. Can't go any further west, so that's now 6. We're not in the woods. We go south 179. Okay. 179. Where are we? There we are. Okay, this is an interesting one. I will show you. So 179, there is a little river. So the river is something that's blocking our movement here. So we can go east because there's still a bit of grass in the north part of the river. We can't cross over. So we have to go east here. We can't swim, that's one of the limitations of the characters. So we'll put that down. And then we're still on it, but just on the very northern end. So that's still number 7. And 7, but we're just on the top. And then we go east to 178. And I'll show this one off as well. So we've got another node on here. There's a river and there's a bridge, and then there's a node that has a fishing rod inside. So this is a fishing node. You need a fishing rod to fish, unless you are a scaled elf, which is a different type of species that can do a bit of fishing on their own. And they can cross over these little rivers basically because they've got an affinity with water. So we're just going to cross over the bridge. We can't do any fishing, but we could make a note of that. Again, if you have a little journal, it's good to make note maybe of where these little nodes are, and you can come back to them. So that's another step. So that's number 8, over the bridge We're going to calm down to 181. 181. 181. Okay, and we're moving into the woods, so that's going to be 2 steps, 8, 9, 10. So we're now moving into the woods, and we have to go back to rolling the die. Hopefully we don't get a 7 or 8. A 3. Okay, good. Where do we want to go? Do we want to go east to 182? Right, let's go south. Let's keep going south. 223. 223. Hopefully this one has, because we are running a little bit out of map space, and we can, well, can't go too far further south without moving everything. That is a little bit of a downside to this game. 223 does have a map icon. I mean a node for logging. That's what I meant. Fantastic. So 10, 11, 12. 12 steps. Roll for the encounter. It is a 7. Oh dear, it's a boar. Okay. Hopefully we get lucky with the boar. Let's find the boar deck. Boar deck. Okay, so we got the boar, and there's also a bear. Luckily we didn't get a bear, because that would definitely kill us. Might get lucky with the boar. They do have misses. We could get a miss. So here is the boar deck. So I'll just show you what this looks like. So that each animal or creature or monster you face will have an information card, and then the deck that they will be attacking you with. So here we've got boar. It's an animal. It's got 25 health. It's got sneak 4. We can sneak up on it. Well, maybe we roll a 6-sided die, and if we get over 4 or more, then we can sneak up on it. So maybe we can, if we sneak up on it, we can flee before it attacks us. So they've also got a couple of additional attacks at the end of round 1. If it's lost 10 health, then it will do a charge, and at the end of round 2, if it's alive, it will do a charge. It will give loot if it's killed. Animals don't drop gold, but you can sell most of the stuff they drop for gold. So you get 2 raw meat and 1 boar hide if you kill the animal. So we definitely want to flee. I'm going to try to do it here. So they've got a whole bunch of attacks they can do. They can do bites. They have got some misses. They've got more bites. Charge is really not what we want to have. And the bite, in fact, does 4 damage. So we'll have to be lucky that it's got 2 misses in there. If we get a miss, then we'll be lucky. But we are going to try to do a sneak up on it as well. If we sneak up on it, then it won't get its opportunity to attack us at the beginning. So there's our deck. So there are 3 turns to every round, I should say, and the back of the card indicates how many rounds you go before you reshuffle the deck. So this is 2 card icons. That means it does 2 rounds before everyone reshuffles. So we're going to try first of all to sneak up. So that means we have to get a 4 or more on a 6-sided dice. So 50-50 chance. And we got a 3. Unlucky for us. Oh dear. Okay, so we've got our weapon deck. We'll give our weapon deck a shuffle as well. Okay. Right, so what we're going to do is, normally for your hand you take 4 cards from your weapon deck. So we can do that, see what we get. Don't think there's anything we're going to get that's going to be useful. So let's have a quick look. We get a stab, a swing, a miss, and a parry would be quite useful if it doesn't attack on us, unless it's an initiative, which it does have. That charge is an initiative. But we are a Fey, which means we can change 1 attack into an initiative, so we're safe basically. It depends how much damage it does though as well. I think it does 6, so he might still be dead even with that. But we got a chance to block some attack coming in. That's the main thing. So that's our hand. Let's reveal what the boar is going to attack us with before we can get to flee. And oh, that is lucky. Okay, it's a miss. I'll show you. That is really good. So here's a picture of the boar running past us, missing us, and it says miss. The attack misses you. So that's good. I think we would have been okay if it with a bite does 4. Yeah, we could have blocked 2 damage from that, but luckily we got a miss, so we don't have to worry about that. Let's put that there. Let's put that back. So I will just put the ball back. Well, actually, we might get that again. You know, we've got to get out of here. Anyway, we've done that. We'll put our deck back. How are we doing for time? Okay, we're basically done. Okay, what's right? We'll go back to Rodwin, finish this quest off. We have used up that node, and we will do our logging, which is from our logging deck. 1 card. We get a U log. That's okay. Put that back in randomly. Let's take a U log. So we've got 2 U logs and 3 walnut logs. So I'll just, it's getting a bit more difficult to hold this up because we've got more. There's our short sword, there's a satchel, walnut logs down there. Then we've got 2 U logs, we've got 3 kindling and a raw meat. So we've got a few bits and bobs, that's quite good. We have used Rodrin's axe 5 times out of 8. So like I said, I'll show it again. We've got these boxes on the bottom of the axe because it's old, it's going to break after 8 uses. So we can put little notches in pencil over 5 of those so we remember. Right, so we move once, that's 1, 2. That's another half hour on our time tracker. Let's move that. So we've done 1, 2, 3, 4. We're in our 4th hour of adventuring. We will roll for an encounter. We got a 2, lucky us, and we will move out. 3, 4. It's still 2 steps to get out of there, so that's okay. So we then cross the bridge and we go up 5 steps, and then we know Rodrin is there. We don't need to get the building card out again. And we are tracking his quest in our tracker. So it's quest F, so we'll take that, both of the cards out, and we'll have a look at what he says now that we've returned with 5 bits of wooden planks. So he says, "A grand job. You have my thanks, stranger. Your payment. Keep hold of the sword if you need it." Ah, well then reward 10 gold. So we get a sword. We get to keep the sword, a bronze short sword, which isn't too bad. And we get 10 gold. And that's the end of that quest. We'll put those back into the quest deck. We'll take 10 gold gladly. Probably need to buy some food actually, because we want some restorative items. Food is the only way to restore your health. But now we have 50 gold. That's half of all the gold. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 50 gold. Okay, we're pretty rich. I think we need some armor and we need some food. That's what we're going to do next one. Let's put that back. Yeah, because we're probably going to do some more logging to finish off that axe 3 more times. We'll come back over here and we'll sort it out. So I'll show you how we pack up, because packing up I don't think takes too long. So you have to make a note of which nodes you've used. So you can just say we used all 4 nodes in the westward, or you say the one above Rodrin's house, or the wood shop, and we used 1 to the south. But again, you're just playing this game on your own, so you're not competitive with anyone else, but it's probably good just to make sure that you don't keep logging the same thing over and over again. And we'll get rid of the other chits that we haven't used for the logs. Okay, so that's that. Those go out the way. And And so what we do, the map is numbered in rows. So what we do is we just bring the rows together into piles and then put them back into the map deck. So the ones we've got out at the moment are the easiest ones to do. We've got 2, 2, 3. So let's just do that one quickly. So 2, 2, 3 goes in. And that's the only one for that. So we'll just pop that in first. And then what we'll do is we'll just add these up. So we've got 81, 78 and 79. We've got 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3. We've got 17, 18, 19 and 20. We've got 61, 62 all the way up to 68. We've got 54, 58, 59, 60. We've got 112, 113. We've got 107, 108. And then we've got 129 to 133. So you end up with these little piles, and then we just got to put them into the deck. So 51 to 100, we've got some of those. 51 to 100, so we've got 54 there. That goes in, and then we've got 58 to 60, and then we've got 61 to 68. Very good. I think that's all for that. Oh no, yes, that's all for that one. Then we've got 100 to 150. So we've got 107 there. Let's put those in. 7 and 8. 112 and 13. 117. 120. 121. 122 is the one we're on. 129 to 133, yep. Okay, that's all of those. And then one more set. 151, so we got 178, 79, 80, 81. So yeah, it takes a few minutes. Let's say 5 minutes at the max. I don't think it's too long. What we can do, if we were to pack this away, we'll take the card we were on and we can put that in our quest tracker so we know that. So we don't know exactly maybe how many steps that would change, but I don't think, again, that that's a particularly important thing, but it's very easy just to write it down too if you need to. Right, there we go. So we packed it away, it didn't take very long. I'm just going to keep that out, so we got it there. Actually, I haven't said that. So this is Thursday. We're not going to do it on Friday, Saturday or Sunday. We'll come back on Monday. So just remembering, Monday, Thursday, 7 PM UK time. I'm going to be doing this every week for probably a few months, 60 or so different videos. So it'll be quite a while. And yeah, feel free to put anything in the comment. Any feedback is really helpful. I really appreciate it if you do that. That's the whole reason for doing this, really, to get some feedback. And yeah, thank you very much for watching if you are watching, and hopefully we can catch a live stream some point. I hope you have a great weekend, and I'll see you on Monday. Thanks very much.